the number one podcast in the world. We got it locked in now still. The Cowboys Collective on a Thursday night edition. If you got us on in the background and you're watching Thursday Night Football, just keep us on. We'll be giving you some Cowboys stuff. Skywalker Steele, John Machota, how we doing? Episode 60. We said it last week. The Tyler Biadasz
show.
I literally cannot think of another.
Biadasz. That's what they call it. Biadasz.
Still, would you rather have Tyler Biadasz or Cooper Beebe? I'm just saying.
Coop. Give me Coop. I think
I like Tyler.
I thought you were gonna go Hoffman.
Big bad bro. Hey, you know what? Who would you rather have? That's a good question.
That's a tougher one. Ooh. Give me Brock, bro.
Yeah. The extra stuff.
Brock, give me the extra, bro. Give me the extra. I like the energy he bring. You know what I mean?
Hey, somebody just said in the chat, this is a great one. Jeff Casero, shout out to you. John, thank you for floating Dak. I just want to throw a few shots. I want to be messy. Can I be messy, Sky?
Yeah.
A lot of people try to get floating Dak. It's only one person who can get floating Dak. I'm just saying, Sky, I'm just saying.
Let me tell you what I think he does. When I always say in my head, I'm like, there's no way he's just catching this. Like, I feel like you're going and try to get 1,000 pictures and then you find the right one. Am I correct?
I mean, that's not just floating Dak. That's every picture I post.
There you go.
You know, high volume shooter, man. A lot of deleting after practice. Yeah.
Shout out to John. John is him. He's the GOAT. And shout out to the chat box. Hey, we're gonna try to get to a few of your guys' questions, comments at the end of the show. But first, as we always start, we have a loaded show, and there's some things we want to talk about. Obviously, our running mate, Law Nation, isn't here today. He'll be back next week. But I want to talk, John. Well, let's start with John, and then we have a few things we're talking about. So, John, what's boots on the ground? I know both coordinators talked. It was interesting. Trevon Diggs and Flus was kind of funny. And I actually watched Flus's, sometimes you got to watch. It's not enough to listen. And I think, did you ask him that man question? Whoever asked him the man defense question.
No, it's Kelvin Watkins. It was right off the rip for like
fast
questions. Yeah.
And his energy was kind of like, we're gonna.
Y'all airs this to the street. I'm telling you that right now.
hey, real quick, because you said that about watching it and things like that. You know, when I left that press conference, and this is with me also admitting that Matt Eberflus has been like extremely guarded. Like he doesn't give us anything in those. And this has been that way since training camp, that it surprised me because he's very personable. And so this is obviously by design, but a lot of people can go listen to that, go watch his press conference from today. It's not that long. And maybe you don't get this, but just when you're used to, whether it be Jason Garrett or Rod Marinelli or some of these coaches I've covered, that like you get an ear for like certain things where you're like, whoa, wait. Like the big one I always would say with Rod Marinelli. Oh, he like you asked him about a player. He was solid. Oh, that guy was dog shit. He said solid. That was bad. And so like, over time. So anyway, long story short, I am totally convinced off of just today that Matt Eberflus was just fine going with Justin Fields in Chicago. I think that was above his pay grade, that they were like, no, we're going in another direction. We're taking Caleb. If you compare what he said about Caleb before that Bears game to what he just said about Justin, talking about first one in, last one to leave. I mean, there was several different questions, like how open he was talking about Justin. I was just like, oh, damn. Okay. Now I'm not saying, he stays there. This whole thing works out. Eberflus is still, I'm not saying anything. I think it was destined to fail. I'm all about, I would have done the exact same thing if I was Chicago. I don't think you pass up on Caleb Williams, and that's, even if it doesn't work out, that is a swing that you absolutely take. But it was just interesting listening to him today talk about Justin Fields and the way it was working with Justin compared to how short he was when he was asked anything about Caleb a couple of weeks ago.
No, that's funny. I think he was definitely very and he even said, he's a great athlete. I mean, he went on and on. And go ahead, Sky.
If I had to guess, I think it would be the mental aspect of Fields he could jive with better than Caleb. I think they're cut from different cloths, man.
Yeah. No, I would agree there. So what else is going on the ground, John?
Man, the biggest thing is definitely these injuries. I mean, this injury list just grew again today. I saw Marshawn Neal in the locker room today, and he was limping, and I was just kind of like, maybe he twists his ankle or whatever. And then he showed up on the injury report today with an ankle. So you add him in the mix. And I mean, the offense is where it's really hit. You know, Booker isn't practicing. Tyler Smith isn't practicing. Obviously, Cooper Beebe's not practicing. And then now also you don't have, I already said Tyler Smith, right? And then Guyton. A lot of Tylers. I keep forgetting to mix them up.
I know.
I will say, with all of that being said, you know, that when I see
Tylers
them all on the list, I'm like, okay, so
What's
what will
real?
that starting offensive line be? And I don't believe it's going to get to that level. I think Tyler Smith ends up playing. I think Tyler Guyton probably does too. He's in that concussion protocol right now. But that would be big because if it's not Guyton, then you're like, all right, well, then you go Nate Thomas there. If by some chance he couldn't clear the concussion protocol,
which people have called for, like we need to talk about this Nate Thomas deal. We got time today, so
no, that's fine. But the one that I was on was like, you know, you look at the depth chart and you're just like, all right, so then if you don't have Tyler Smith, Bass is already playing at right guard. So who's the next guy up there? And that's why I'm like, maybe it's Trevor Keegan. Is that his name? Yeah. Trevor Keegan. I mean, that's now they're having to go through practice like that, you know, like they're not showing us that during the first like 15, 20 minutes when we're there, but they're having to practice with all these guys, you know, I mean, literally not practicing right now. Tyler Booker, Tyler Guyton, Tyler Smith, and Cooper Beebe. You know what I'm saying? So like they have to prepare in case they don't. But I'll say this coming out of that Packers game. I mean, that's such a great blueprint for you of just how great Dak was getting the ball out. And it could be a similar thing here where it's like, hey, you're just not going to have very much time. You're going against Quinnen Williams. You know, they obviously got a good defense. We'll talk about that a little bit. They have some good defensive players. The Cowboys wanted Quinnen Williams, if you believe that report, you know, that Jerry Jones said that he called the Jets.
As he should.
How would you guys feel about that? If it was straight
I love
up?
it. I like Clark, but Quinnen Williams is a better young player.
Quinn Williams player.
And you don't get any draft picks?
No. I thought you meant
I
like same trade, just different defensive tackles.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Clark, but I would have loved Quinnen Williams.
Yeah.
So what about Quinnen and a 1?
Well, again, if we get the same trade, if it's just Quinnen straight up, I mean,
I'm saying you give the Jets Micah Parsons, you get Quinnen Williams and a first round pick from the Jets. I'm doing that all day long. I probably would have done it straight up just for Quinnen Williams, just so that you're not keeping him in the NFC and not sending him to a team that's been a thorn in your side for the last 15, 20 years. Like,
I'm greedy. I'm trying to stack up. So I would have.
Yeah, no, I know, and I'm totally fine with that. But I'm also like, knowing how things can spiral if Micah's in New York on a bad Jets team and things like that. Like, I'm not. I think Jerry hooked up Micah, to be honest with you. Like,
I agree.
As much as they don't like each other.
I told you it was the team they sent him to
situation
was
for
the
Micah
craziest about the whole thing to me. Like, you sent them there, okay,
Yeah.
all right, sure,
Yeah.
No.
But no, that was definitely the biggest stuff today. Was that? I mean, out of the coordinator stuff, you know. There's really not a lot from Clayton Adams. He basically just co-signed on a lot of stuff that Schottenheimer has said about Jaden Blue and how he's getting close and could be active. And it's like where they're at with the injuries. I mean, it looks like Kevontae Turpin might be a guy that's not going to play this week. So if you're looking for offensive playmakers, maybe that's a way to get Jaden Blue out there as well. So, and the offense is banged up. So you got to find other ways to, you know, you can't do the exact same stuff you did last week. So there's that. And then the other one I was just going to say is that, again, he's just on these resistance cords, but like there's nothing about CeeDee Lamb that looks like he's got like a major ankle injury at the stuff that when he was. Now I know he does, obviously. I mean, you watch the replay of it. He easily could have been a season ending, but I'm saying the way he's moving, man, like he would not surprise me. I'm not saying he's going to be out there against Carolina, but I would not completely write that thing off, man.
I targeted Washington.
I was about to say, isn't Carolina, either Carolina or Washington has to be the game because then you wasted, 4 weeks instead of, so you assume he'd be back for the game 3 or 4.
That's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up because Brian was asked about that a couple of days ago with Booker and CD, and he talked about how guys in the past, I don't know if they're necessarily ones that he dealt with the Jets or Seattle specifically or other people across the league, is they've put people on IR and it's like an elite athlete, like an elite guy like CD, and they're ready after like 2.5 games. And so now you're kicking yourself because now he's out. You can't put him back on the field. So with a star player like CD, when he said that, I was like, oh, then they never were going to put him on IR. They were like, well, we're just not, he might shock us and he might be back after 2 games. We don't think he will, but maybe he is. So we can't even risk that because, it's CeeDee Lamb or whatever. With Booker, I don't know. It might be a little bit different. I know what you're saying, though, because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, well, if you think he's going to miss 4, then just put him on IR. But it sounds like that they didn't feel that way with CD, that they never thought it was going to be the full 4. So that's why they never went that route.
Tough dudes.
I texted Sky, John, after it happened, and I said, CD, I'm hearing that he was going to try like his hardest to play the next game. Now, obviously, they saved him from himself, but there's type like Sky said, they're just competitive people.
I mean, hey, don't get me wrong. You maybe with him you get a better chance to beat the Packers, but there's a part of me that thinks that what happened against Green Bay could be a good thing for the passing offense. That the way Pickens was able to be utilized, like there's so much talk of we've seen glimpses during practice, and obviously Dak has talked a lot about how that they're on the same page and everything like that. But to actually have that game, to have that success on the field against a good opponent. Like, I think that could carry a lot of weight for like even when CD comes back, Also, have you guys seen any of those videos of AJ Brown and Devontae Smith leaving the field after the Tampa Bay game? Like, you would absolutely thought that they got blown out and I mean, they look down. Like, I'm talking about it's the camera of them walking like after they leave the tunnel, and then they're going to the locker room in Tampa. Like, they look nothing like a team that's undefeated right now and like happy about anything that's going on there.
Can I say something, John? Not to be funny, that is the most position in the world that you can't tell me that those guys care. They care about wins, but that is a position that those guys want their numbers to look a certain way.
AJ Brown literally told us, he said, I got the Super Bowl. All I want now is he said, I want the legacy. I want all the numbers, bro. He came out and said it. And now he's getting targeted 3 times a week. Yeah, he's pissed.
Yeah,
whose career would you rather have? Would you rather be Damian Lillard or Draymond Green?
Oh, Dre got what, 4 rings and bread.
Yeah,
and he gonna go to Hall of Fame.
I don't care about the money as much, because when you're that level, you're gonna get it with endorsements and everything else. Like, you're gonna be set. But like, Dame's always been the guy, everywhere.
I mean, if you said Dame or Robert Horry,
that's a good one too. Yeah. Okay.
Horry got 7 rings, but
I think Draymond. People gotta remember though. I know this in basketball talk, but man, Mark Jackson had him on the bench.
All right, fine. Draymond or Charles Barkley?
Dre.
Yeah,
and Barkley was better. No, listen, John. Charles was better. Charles was better, Johnny. But I don't think that people realize that Golden State team didn't take off till they started using him at point 4. Remember, they just had him on the bench. He was undersized, and then the offense looked totally different with him running it, because he would start the plays, he would start Clay, and then running all those picks and around. And then
it's Dre, bro. It's Dre because he don't care to be better than Charles. He cares to be the best at his role.
That's a fact.
He's gonna go to Hall of Fame.
What's the Cowboys comp to this? I'm trying to think. Like,
honestly, I'm gonna tell you who it's gonna be if we don't win the Super Bowl. It's gonna be somebody like CD and AJ Brown, because
no, I mean 2 Cowboys players. I was gonna say like a '90s Cowboys player, like maybe like an Alvin Harper or somebody that was a good player but not great, but obviously got rings.
That's a good question. I don't know, John. I can't think off the top of my head. You probably better at this than me.
Alvin Harper has some big years and moments for the Cowboys though. So
yeah.
It's not like he was.
But I'm okay. There you go. All right, Alvin Harper or Des Bryant's career. Who would you rather have?
There you go. That's a tough one. I think that is a good one. Because if you kind of take what the league was in the '90s and put it into Dez's era, Harper's probably a 900 to 1100 yard receiver in today's game, 5-6 touchdowns, and you tell me I get 3 rings on top of that? Yeah, I'm gonna take that career, bro.
Last one on this, and I'm done. So I've lived down here for 15 years, and I've been to a lot of different things over the years that were like the Cowboys alumni's at. And I feel like I've seen every like 90s Cowboy at least 5-10 times in person. I've never seen Alvin Harper ever. Like, he's never been at any of the reunion. I never see him anywhere. Like, he's the one.
Interesting.
The other one that I always think of too is just because as a kid I always remember he was on TV all the time because he was always making plays. But Ken Norton. But Ken Norton's been coaching, so that's why it's been a little bit tough for him to.
Wasn't he at USC, John?
Yeah, but I mean, he's also been in the NFL. I mean, with Seattle and some other teams and San Francisco and stuff like that. But yeah, no, Alvin Harper. I'm always just like, whatever happened to Alvin Harper?
Yeah, no, John. I mean, It's good stuff. Let's segue into our first topic. Shout out to our graphics team. Still, we want to give them. Hey, you know what? Somebody said in the chat. I'm reading it. Normally I got it down. I'm reading it. Foots knows ball. Hey man, me, John, and Sky have had some good basketball discussions behind the scenes. Like
I used to coach basketball too. So
did you?
Yeah, I coached AAU for a couple years, and I had to stop because the parents was just outrageous. But yeah.
Scott, what I tell you about the parents?
Both credit for that. I've literally never had even a second of interest in ever coaching, like at any level. Like I think you either got to like it or you don't, and I don't know. Like you got to have to worry about a lot of other things than just yourself too. You got to manage a lot of things.
And minored in athletic coaching. Read a couple different.
That's books. Why you love OCs and skin. It's all making sense now.
Yeah,
John.
That does make sense.
He can tell you. This dude can tell you every. I think I got a lot of knowledge, John. He can tell you every offensive coordinator in the league. Still can.
I mean, obviously, Schottenheimer played at a level where he was playing. He was a backup, but I mean, he was obviously at the University of Florida, and they were very good when he was there. They won a national championship. But just my time being around him, I've always sensed that that's what he's always wanted, that he always knew, especially with his dad being a coach, that he was, even when he was on the sidelines, next to Spurrier and that he was going to be a coach one day and all that. And I'm just, when he talks about him, like, I would literally never have that interest at all in any sport.
I thought about it pretty early in high school. And then I started to do it when I was a senior. I was helping out.
Like drawing up plays?
No. When you're that young, you just kind of observe and take in and just learn and coach little kids, not drawing.
Yeah, I got you.
The thing about, I would say, because I just went up with my 13-year-olds. I tell Scott this all the time. I mean, the parents are hell. They are. Love y'all, but they're crazy. But you do it because, John, the satisfaction of seeing a kid get better. And I always say when they have that moment, like that light bulb moment, that's why I coach, because you get them to do it, and then when it finally clicks, you're like, see, I told so. It's very rewarding.
Let me give him way more credit than me. I don't have the patience to coach no little ass kids. That's not what I want.
Oh, Scott, this is my last run, bro. This is it.
Yeah, I'm seriously. And I know there's fans that actually coach Little League. I give y'all so much credit for coaching little 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds, Pee-wee, Smurfs, whatever you call them, tiny tots, Michael Scott's tots, whatever you want to call them.
Well, I'm gonna say that too. Still, we're not going too far in the weeds, but
yeah, my bad.
My level is. I will say it's high level. Like it's not like our org.
No, yeah, you
very
coach
well
the best
known.
of the best.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
like
different. That's different than your local.
Yeah.
Right. Gotcha.
Hey, imagine if you guys were coaching, and and one of your kids ends up going viral because he's the kid that said, all of you players, it's not on it's on the coaches. Can you imagine whoever the coach is of that team, where that kid's video went viral? Like,
yo, that was hilarious.
His friends send that to him all the time, guaranteed.
Yo, that was hilarious. Hey, speaking of a player who has come in and fit right in, and I think a lot of it has to do with coach. You see what I did there, John? Nice little segue.
Getting this, bro.
George.
Yeah.
Freaking Pickens. I think we kind of glanced over on Tuesday how good he's been, but let's really like break down and not give you guys a full. What have you guys seen from Pickens on the edge? I know a lot of people are just like uber surprised. We kind of talked about it, but what have you guys seen from George Pickens? And John, how about you give us the locker room interactions that you've seen from Pickens and how he's been around the building, because it's awesome seeing what he's doing.
Yeah, there's definitely guys on the team that really don't care to be like in the locker room all the time. And George isn't like that at all. Like George, I'll tell you another guy that's like that too, that fit in right away, I feel like. And just because the guys aren't in the locker room when we're there doesn't mean they don't fit in. It just, a lot of guys aren't in there because they don't want to talk to reporters. But George and Joe Milton have always been like one of the guys from when they first got on the team. Yeah, George is obviously really tight with CD, but I don't know, like he's pretty cool with everybody. He's usually around hanging out. Seems like he gets along with the guys pretty well. My thing with George Pickens that stands out most to me really isn't the behind the scenes stuff. It's really the stuff on Sundays of just how much he it's like he almost like he just like makes the game look easy. Like there's like even on that touchdown, the one towards the end of the fourth quarter in that final minute, like the way he just gets away from the defender and just calmly just is up the sideline. You're just like, it goes from being, damn, that was a good catch, here you go, to, well, he's not going to. Okay, he did score on that.
He scored.
Wow, like, and there's nothing about it where, like, I'll give you a great example. You know who was the opposite of that for me? Obviously, it sucks right now they got hurt, but like in his prime, Tyreek Hill, where you're just like, yep, that's different. I don't know what that is, but that nobody else.
That speed,
yeah. I remember seeing him. I went to the Florida State game when they played Oklahoma State at AT&T Stadium when Tyreek was at Oklahoma State, and I was just like, who is this guy? And he did that exact same stuff as soon as he got in the NFL. And George is like built like, he stands out that way and everything, but like he makes stuff look so effortless and so like he just doesn't seem like very rattled by anything. Even like clutch catches, like Clayton Adams, I asked him today if I go, what was a play from the game that stood out to you most about George? And he said it was on that, I think it was like a 4th and 6 or something like late in the game.
Gotta have it.
Yeah, gotta have it. He was like, it was just one of those plays where, I mean, Dak threw him a great ball, but he's got to make that catch too. And he's like, just when I'm watching, I'm just like thinking to myself, this is one of those plays where if he doesn't make that catch, we're going to lose the game, And yeah, I've been really impressed by him. I think everything with the Cowboys has been a huge part of it. I think that has really helped. But then also, I mean, he is in the final year of that contract. That has to be a factor. He knows what payday is around the corner for him, whether it's from the Cowboys or anybody else. But if he keeps going down this path, I know it sounds crazy to say because of what Jerry just did with Micah, but I think the Cowboys are going to re-sign him.
I love it, and I think they should. And I think if this continues, it'll be because of the growth he has off the field, but also his maturity, on it. When I say off the field, I don't mean he was off the field problem. You know what I'm saying, like that. But he's a younger player, and some of the things he was going through and keeping in himself off the field happened on the field, and that kind of manifested with penalties. And earlier we saw a little bit of that, right? But so that you could say that stands out in general. Just he seems to be more in control this year because we've seen him out of control on the field, and it cost the team a number of different times. I've seen one real bad moment, and that was the Eagles game. Other than that, I feel like he's really tried. He had a little issue in the second half of I believe it was the Chicago Bears game in regards to trying to get that effort back up, but he's not crashing out. And as long as he's not crashing out, that's growth in that sense. But other than that,
hey, real quick on that, that's where I think maybe there's a chance where if like, let's say he's in a situation with, let's say it's a team that's kind of revolving door at quarterback, and it's a lot of these young guys coming in. That's not the guy going to go to the next guy. Kind of maybe even like what's going on with the Giants. Maybe it wouldn't work well because obviously Dak, I think, is a big part of it too. He's got a lot of respect for Dak, the way that Dak is playing and all that. I think that might help and factor in as well. So I can't sit here and say 100% this would be like it with anybody. If they were going through a year of 2015, Matt Castle and some other things because Romo's out, I don't know. Maybe he would get frustrated, but it seems like he has a lot of trust in Dak.
That's a good point. The other thing about having here, what I love about having him here is you see his energy actually affecting the team, and it didn't really appear to me till CeeDee Lamb went out that if we didn't have George Pickens, who would be that guy? Because I feel like as much as I love Ferg, that hit to the head it seemed like it took a little bit of that dog away from Ferg. We don't really see Ferg get into it in that manner. Is Ferg reliable? Is he going to catch the ball? Is he going to be where he needs to be? Is he going to? Yeah, that's fine. But who gives us that energy if it's not CD that day and he's kind of going through it, or if he's not playing at all? GP picked up that mantle and said, I got you. Take your time, bro. I got you. And you saw not only the team kind of galvanize around that, but Dak. And you said something earlier that I'm glad we're talking about this. You mentioned basically they needed this game for the future, the greater good. And I kept thinking when you were talking about that, when CD is either going off or teams start to pay attention to him, we really don't have we haven't had anybody else to just to snap. George Pickens is now that guy, and them getting this trust rate now, Dak can feel comfortable with, okay, if you want to shade this here, I'm not even thinking twice about going to George Pickens. I might have had those, trust issues early because that's just normal. But now that they've developed this chemistry and they can see, oh, this is where we can be. Bet, double team him in this clutch moment. I know somebody else is going to win this one-on-one, and that's huge moving forward.
That's why I feel like when I say that I think they're going to re-sign him is because I think what the plan is going to be is that I don't believe that Jerry is going to spend these picks that they got in the
On
Parsons pick.
receivers. Yeah.
I think he's going to I think he's going to draft with them, and I think that that's how they're going to fix the defense over. I don't think that he's going to go. It's just not in the Cowboys' DNA to go out and make a move for like, I'm trying to think of a good one. Okay, so like when the Ravens went out and they're like, they made that move to get Roquan Smith from the Bears. Like the Cowboys don't really make those type of defensive moves, but they'll go get Amari Cooper. You know what I'm saying? They'll go get George Pickens. So there is a part of me that thinks that that's what they're going to do on defense, that they're going to be like, they're going to use those picks on defense there. And you've already invested a lot of high picks in the offensive line. You just re-signed Ferguson. You got Dak, you got CD. If they keep Pickens in there, then they're going to be like, all right, well, now all we got to do is get this defense fixed. Let's keep adding pieces there, especially because they paid Diggs and Bland, that I don't see them paying another corner, like, or adding another veteran corner. I think if one of those two, if it's not working there, like let's say they move on from Diggs at the end of the year, I think then they're using one of those first round picks on another corner there. And then they're going to go into next season saying it'll be that corner, let's say Bland, Revel, and then somebody else. And that's going to be how they do that there. I'll be very surprised if Jerry ends up using any of those picks to fix the defense right now.
I think he should either, my bad, real quick, Foots.
No, you're good. No, please take your time.
Trade one premium pick for a high level guy or spend premium money for a high level one. I don't say you got to use a bunch, but for at least one. That's all I'll say.
I think the best thing about George Pickens, back to him real quick, is Sky 4 touchdowns already. He had 3 last year. He has 4 already. And we're 4 games
red
in.
zone monster, bro.
So yes, and I don't even think him and Dak have even tapped in on that just yet, how it's going to look. All right. Here's what I'm noticing and loving, Sky. And in a few numbers, 14 yards of reception. Like, that's where it's like, this is a big play receiver. This is a receiver that can win down the field, over the middle of the field, do the things, right? And then the yak, John hit it. 80 yards of yak. There's a few other metrics that I want to get. Receiving EPA plus 19.2, catch rate, 63%. Like, George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb may very well be the best duo in the NFL this year. You think about what's happened with, and when we said this, but now when you think about what's happened with Cincinnati losing Joe Burrow, like, who else? And the fact that he did that versus that defense, it's a true schematical advantage to have this guy on your football team. John, you said it to start the video. I mean, to start this talk. Is it the best thing that happened? No, you don't want to see CeeDee Lamb get hurt. But to get those in-game reps and to get that in-game trust, I mean, you just, like, what are we doing? This dude is unstoppable. And I saw somebody say in the chat, so I don't want to take credit for it. It's like he's gliding. He doesn't look fast. He doesn't look twitchy, but guys fall off of him and he gets to a spot, right? Like, and I said it I think our last show, he's got to be 6'4", y'all. John, I want you to try to stand next to him. And he has to be 6'4". He's not 6'3", bro. He's a big body, and that matters. Because I think, like you said, still more in the red area. He's been outstanding. And this offense is, go ahead, Scott.
Don't sleep on because I love when you bring that up, because we always think about the same play. Brandon Cooks 2023 playoff on that slant. Don't think for a second, like, when you need just a quick slant, Irv and Mike used to be like, hey, run that skinny. I got you. You got a body Troy, that. Or Troy, I'm sorry. Irv and Troy used to say, run that skinny. I got you. That bang gate, bow, right between the 88s. Pickens like that on the slant. And now he dropped one, but I don't think he'll ever let a little DB run through him for a pick. And that's going to be, that's going to be key in some of these big games, or if you get to the playoffs.
Yeah, man. Like,
playing outside, things like that.
Playing outside, right. We talked about it this whole off season. It's kind of messed up that Dak's playing so good, because we're falling back into the 4 go win games for us. 4 go do it all. And I hope that the Cowboys, I know what you said, John, you're right. Like, it's not in their DNA to do that, but I'm just at a mindset like, bro, how many more seasons will you get of 4 like this? We're not wishing a drop off, but this is incredible what he's doing and with Pick. And so now I want to transition to Jaden Blue. I'm of the mindset that Javonte Williams is your clear-cut one, but we said this too, we don't want to, run him into the ground. What can Jaden Blue give us? I think this is a perfect game to get him going. Sky, what can he give us that maybe Miles Sanders just can't right now?
Legitimate home run ability. We've clearly seen, Miles Sanders lost a step. I don't think Miles Sanders 5 years ago gets caught in that Eagles game. That's a step has been lost. And then you can still see in his play a little jittery. He hasn't been as bad as week one. And again, he got a long run in week one, but he hasn't been a big play guy that you really brought him here to be, So I think he's going to give you legitimate home run ability. Now, I don't know what the the consistent nature that he wasn't showing. I don't know what that meant. I don't know if that was playbook, if that was blitz pickup, pass protection, vision. I don't know. But whatever it is, if he has that fixed just enough to be on the field, he should make defenses nervous. And you only got one of those guys that can take it to the crib. Well, you can count Pickens too, but from a speed standpoint, that's Turpin. And now Turpin's not playing. Yeah. So you keep that element in the offense if he can handle that workload. That's the only thing I don't know if you've heard anything around the building, John. First game up, he's already working on trust stuff. Do they give him a big enough workload to where he's playing 25 snaps and not 10?
Yeah, I'm interested to see because if they're going to make him active, I don't see them making him active just to stand on the sidelines. It would make him active because you want to at least give him, a few touches in the game. I thought it was interesting. Clayton Adams talking today about their plan with Nate Thomas and how it was like going in that Packers game. They were like, hey, he's probably going to have to play sometime this year. Let's not wait until he has to play to put him out there. Let's give him a series. And then it ended up being one of those things where they also needed him later on in the game. And so that's right. When he said it made me think of Jaden Blue. I'm like, I could see them, whether it be this week or next week being like, hey, let's just get him out there. Let's give him a series. Let's see what he does. If he handles it, we'll give him more. If not, then we got to go in another direction. And I know the rosters are tight on game days and that, but I just think I agree with Sky. There's just too much of an upside on the home run side of things to not bring him out there. And with Turpin probably not being able to go and CD not going, I mean, why not give him a chance?
I'm trying not to be hyperbolic here, but there is and this is all credit to Javonte and Clayton Adams. There is a potential to see a very similar 1-2 punch when you had Zeke and Tony Pollard here, and that was Zeke on the decline, mind you. That wasn't prime Zeke, and I'm not saying Javonte's prime Zeke, but Javonte I think is better than decline Zeke. And obviously, Tony Pollard had a number of years in the league prior to their big breakout in 2021, I think it was. So if he can just give you half of what Tony Pollard was, and Javonte can continue this route, I mean, that opens up that makes this offense, which we already believe it can go up and score with anyone. Now we get to a place where not only just score, they'll overcome the defense more often than not. But obviously, it won't allow them to. I don't think it'll allow them to win in the playoffs if they even get there. But that ability now gives them another element that would, to me, make them the best offense in the league. That's the only thing they're lacking.
Yeah, no, Sky, no, you're right. And some good team like that Bengals team that went to the Super Bowl, they didn't have an amazing defense, but what they had was they did have a good defense.
They had a good defense.
What was the last team that didn't have an amazing
defense? The Colts had a terrible defense until they got to the playoffs, and they actually played better than Peyton Manning. That was 2009. Was it 6?
Yeah, who was the last team that got to the playoffs with a bad defense?
Oh, playoffs? I think it was
not playoffs. Give me Super Bowl, made a run. I don't know if the
Falcons didn't have a great defense.
Was it command? They went to an NFC Championship last year, but I don't think their defense was
2016. The Falcons' defense was mid.
Okay, but
2016. What was the Cowboys' defense? Sorry, I'm kidding.
Man,
it wasn't great.
Yeah,
there was something that they stood out in though. I don't know if it was the run defense or something, but there was something that they did that I remember it exceeded what you would expect from them. I remember that.
I just think that Sky made a great point about overcoming the defense and time of possession and just attacking you in so many different ways and having answers. I just think that having two great backs And they don't even really have to be great backs. The scheme is really getting you free money in a lot of ways. So if they can just hit it,
Adams, why you got him,
man. If he's here for one more year, we're thankful because you're right, Sky. He's gonna go be an offensive coordinator and probably eventual head coach. He's good. He's definitely
2010, Corey, 2010 Packers team.
All right, here we go. We'll run the ad and then we're going to let's talk about this game coming up.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using the code HMA. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
All right, guys, Sleeper, you guys make sure you tap in. Also, we want to thank our partners, Brunt. They're the footwear and the hat. You guys have seen me probably running in there wearing a hat. I don't have it on today. Got my head on, so you know.
It's for those grinders, man. Those workers that require them steel toe boots. Brunt got you. I promise you. I've seen fans in the chat tell me, and I didn't know this until we got the sponsorship, that's something that they swear by and they use. So
for real?
Yeah. Fans out there, they're already hip to Brunt. So if you're not and you're looking for some great steel toe boots, look a little nice too. Brunt
John, you see, Sky got his shape up. Well, I got the lock twisted. I'm ready to be outside. You feel me?
Be outside. Okay.
No, but so you guys know every Thursday we tap in with Skywalker Steele. What does the film say? And I'll give you guys a little bit. I'll be honest, I haven't watched much of the Jets. I've been just carving through this Packers Dallas game. It was just so many things to look at. So I've been really hitting on that. But what have you seen? Let's talk about you know what, Scott, just as a whole, because we only got 10 more minutes. So what have you seen from this Jets as a team, offensively, defense? Just break it down.
They're worse than you. Just as a team, you're a better team than them. You're going through a similar situation as they are. Defensively, they came from a Salah type defense, Jeff Ulbrich defense, which was vision based, rush with 4, don't blitz at all. They were always bottom 2, 3, 4 in blitz percentage, and we played them a couple years ago, that vision based, and we tore them up. But that was one of the better units. But they don't do that anymore. They're top 10 blitzing team now. They mix it up a little bit more on that side of the ball, a little bit more aggressive. That's Aaron Glenn. We remember Aaron Glenn coming from Detroit, was very aggressive with his linebackers. The difference is you don't have Detroit's talent, and they are struggling to piece it together with Steve Wilkes. I'm not really sure how he connects if he runs a similar style, although he was in San Francisco when they went to the Super Bowl, I believe, and they run kind of that style. But they're just not connecting right now on the back end. They're getting no pressure on the front end. They're worse than the Cowboys in sacking a quarterback and pressuring a quarterback. And they're suffering with Jermaine Johnson, I believe, is out. I do like Will McDonald, obviously Quentin Williams, so Brock Hoffman got his hands full with that one. But defensively, second level is not what it used to be when Mosley and Quincy Williams. Quincy's out, no Mosley. You can attack them there. You have the advantage, even with all of these people out. Now, the O-line might be tough. If we do have 3 or 4 out, that might change everything. But you have the advantage. Sauce, he actually went up against Pick before, and they've battled it out before. The problem is no Turp. Somebody's going to have to step up in that role if Turpin's not going to play. But this should definitely be Javonte Williams. Run the ball, keep it balanced, and let Dak be just surgical with it. Let him be, because I don't think they're going to be very disguisey. And if they are, Dak has seen everything. This is not really that difficult of a defense, but they have players that can wreck the game in Sauce Gardner or Quentin Williams defensively.
Yeah, George Pickens was saying today that, and Schottenheimer the other day, that they fully expect Sauce Gardner to follow Pickens.
Yasmin, yep.
And yeah, like Sky said, they've played against each other. So they're familiar. And like George said, I mean, they're almost the same size. Like George is listed at 6'3", 200, and Sauce is 6'3", like 190 or whatever. So it'll be a good matchup, but I really do think somebody else has to step up, whether it's Jalen Tolbert, somebody else is going to have. Yep. Maybe it's Jake Ferguson. Maybe this is where you see some more stuff down the seam, a little bit, some bigger play stuff as opposed to these 5, 6, 7 yard gains. Or maybe this is Jaden Blue. But yeah, when I look at their defense, though, I mean, I think of Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner, and I don't know. I don't see like a team that you really should be that concerned about. But I just go back to they're 0-4. They're going to be desperate to get a win. Who knows what kind of random stuff they try and pull out here. And so you can't go in there just expecting that, well, you're the better team. You're going to win that game. I mean, it's a noon game. You come out sluggish. Next thing you know, you're down, 10-0 or something like that. That's not where you want to be. So, and to be clear, I don't get the sense that this Cowboys team feels like that they've accomplished anything. Like they're pretty hungry too. They think that their record should be better than what it is. So I don't get the sense that they will, sleep on the Jets, but it is one of those things. Dak likes to point it out, and he did again today. Wow. He tries to tell these young guys all the time. He's like, there's never going to be a game where teams don't get up for us. Like, it's the Dallas Cowboys. Like, teams always get up to play against the Cowboys. You're going to see it. Just watch. You're going to see when you get out on the field and that. So, I don't think that they'll sleepwalk in this game, because I think that they need to be pretty desperate too. But that's the one part of this where you're like, I don't know, this Jets team's got to be pretty desperate. Who knows? They might try and pull out some wild stuff. I think that would be more on offense though than defense.
Get off to a better start. You have kind of slow starts last couple of weeks. Get off to a better start so you're not keeping these bad teams, into it. Not saying that Packers were, but the Bears, bad team, slow start. Giants, bad team, slow start. Don't get off to a slow start here.
I think for me, Law's on. Let me I think for me, guys, and I'll be completely honest with you. Got the wrong one.
What's up?
What's up, Skywalker Steele?
I'm gonna mute you, Law, until you talk. There you go. All right, so I think for me, one of the things that I saw, Sky. Well, okay, you said. Well, I'm gonna say something that you guys talked about with Sauce following. One thing that Dallas actually on a touchdown that Pickens scored, he was the number one. They motioned him, and then he became the number two. Then they ran that skinny post. Like, you can follow a guy when you have bad quarterback play, and it'll make it look like you locked him down or whatever the case may have you. But when you have Dak Prescott and they're doing some of the stuff they're doing with pre-snap motion and moving guys around, they're gonna get George and Dak are gonna lock in, I think, for this game, especially with like no pressure. If you're not gonna heat Dak up and you're just gonna play with the personnel they have, cool. Sky, you said it last show, and I think you're right. You talk about like Flanoy, like somebody like that who could possibly be a juice player. This would be a great game to kind of get him going, because their defense isn't great. Like, they're where you are. Your saving grace is your offense, and they don't have that saving grace. Like, Justin Fields is still Justin Fields. He played better in the second half of the Miami game, but I have no faith in him as a passer. It's literally, if he breaks contain, that's where he's great. But like, just dropping back, and we've struggled with that. To be fair.
Well, to your defensive point in regards to if Sauce follows, Pickens, that's still Sauce Gardner. So you got to be choosing, pick and choose when you make that move there. We're not talking about a bum. So
yeah, that's facts.
So when you bring up the other person, yes, that other person needs to have a Sid Wilson game. I think that may be a situation we need.
Thinking of you saying that, I wanted to add, and he didn't say it like definitively. I'm just reading in between the lines here. George Pickens really sounded like, obviously Sauce is really good, but like, if he can get one-on-one man coverage, he'll take that all day. No matter who.
Exactly.
No matter who it is. Yeah.
I just want to bring that up because I think a lot of fans look at it as like, all right, well, that's a top player going against top player that might cancel it out. It's like, no. Like, there's going to be some stuff, but he's still going to find advantages in that he's going to be just fine with that. Like, the thing they hate, and I always go back to this clip of it's Chad Johnson before a game, and Bill Belichick comes up to him. He's like, hey, don't even worry about it today. We're doubling you on everything. He's like, Coach, are you serious? He's like, yeah, don't even worry about it. You don't even have to play today. That's going to be our whole game plan. Somebody else is going to be us. He's like, no way. I mean, really, Coach? That's what you're going to do? Like, that's the last thing. All these guys would love to just be manned up, even if it is the best corner in the league,
Yeah.
Thanks. Law, how you feeling about the game?
Hey, man, I'm feeling like this game is, like I said, it's a must-win game, of course, but this is also a situation. Is my audio straight? I know I got the DJ right behind.
It sounds good.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to keep talking so we won't get hit. I would say this, though. with this particular team, we still can't take them lightly. Of course, we hear that Tyler Smith is still banged up, so Quentin Williams can smell blood in the water. And, of course, we still down with our other offensive linemen like the Cooper BBs of the world. So, yeah, this should be a game that we still neutralize them by running the ball, playing active as it relates to getting everybody involved. But I think that this is a situation that we can still put up 30 points against the Jets. They do have a lot of holes. And that's what I'm looking for, this team to just be on that particular type of time.
Okay, so then that's great stuff, Law. I'm not gonna say I'm concerned about, well, everybody's probably concerned about the defense. What I'm like John, I'm concerned that Dallas, as we know them, should go and okay, let me get my thoughts together. This team needs to score first. I don't know why. I don't know. John, maybe you can ask Shotty this thinking. Is he deferring? Is he not getting the kickoff? I want Dallas to take the ball and go score.
He's deferred. He's deferred a few times.
Yeah. No, if they win the toss.
Do y'all agree with that?
I mean, this defense is so bad now. It's like you're just giving up. You're like, all right, here you go, 7 points or 6 points.
Yeah. I would put my offense on the field first and make them play from behind.
Now they did get a stop against Chicago. Did they get a stop against?
They did get a stop against Chicago.
In Chicago, they did, yeah.
And not the Packers though. The Packers I think went down, right? But they got a stop in Chicago, so yeah, I guess it doesn't matter.
I want to score
Packers.
First,
they definitely did. 3 plays in, they threw that deep ball to goal, and then they were already.
That's right. Yeah, Packers did. Yeah.
I want to score first. Like
I'm with you. Give me the ball, man. I get it. You want the doubles opportunity, but I don't know about this defense.
Yeah, I mean,
and I really can't imagine a noon game. Well, I guess it'll be one there. Crowd that's that daunting for a Jets team that's 0-4. I imagine there'll be a lot of Cowboys fans there, like whenever the team's in New York. So I don't really see that being a major issue from the crowd noise standpoint in that. So I don't know. I just, when there's those early games like that, sometimes teams come out kind of lackadaisical. They're not really like locked in like you are for a night game or an afternoon game. And so that's one aspect of it, that if the Jets come out hot, then all of a sudden now you're playing from behind, playing catch up. That changes your game plan. That would be the only way where I could see it potentially going in a bad direction. But I keep going back to I think that the Cowboys are pretty desperate now too. I don't think that they're anywhere close to being happy with what their record is.
And rightfully so, John. They literally let the Eagles game slip out of their hands. They got to hear the noise when it comes to this defense, and they should. Like, you're being called out, players and coaches and scheme. You need to play better. This is my thinking, and then we'll close here right at the 10 o'clock hour. Well, not 10 o'clock Eastern, 9. John, Sky, do you believe in getting confidence defensively, right? Like, obviously, you can't pick your opponent, and these are just two bad offenses that you're about to play in the Panthers and the Jets. And Scott and Law, you could jump in, but is there a way that they can get some confidence? Maybe Wanye comes in, he gives you a spark, it starts to look better. Panel, how do we feel about maybe getting some confidence and now going into the Commanders game in the rest of the season? At least you could get to middle of the pack.
Well, middle of the pack is a tough ask. Go from 32 to no. In all seriousness, that's a huge jump when you really think about it. We thought the Cowboys might have did that last year, and we thought they might get back to the middle pack. They finished not dead last, but bottom of the league. But it's huge because last year, as bad as the defense was, it had its moments. In the middle of the season or at certain points where they only give up 17 here. Yes, against bad offenses, but guess what? You're going to play bad offenses. If it's a way to gain some confidence for a Wanye to say, I can make this play, or I know how to be Diggs and all the other guys say, all right, I'm getting more comfortable in this scheme. The more repetition, the better. And if it comes with W's and it comes with good play, even better for when you go up against these better teams. So yeah, you can say take it with a grain of salt if they go out there and have a good game. But for where this defense is right now, I'm not. I'm going to look at it as a very good positive step forward because it looks like a defense that anybody can score on. So just give me one baby step before I start, studying the draft or something. Because at that damn point, if you can't stop this offense, which no disrespect to them, if you can't have a good 4 quarters against this offense, who are you stopping?
Yeah, for me, I would just say that I think the back end is going to still take some time. Playing in this zone coverage, just there's too many pieces that haven't been on the same page for me to think that like one game is going to fix that. But I think the thing you could see in this game and maybe next week as well is that you could just tell it's really bothered Matt Eberflus that the tackling and knocking the ball out, and that's something they've really been working on in practice. I could see that this being one of those games where maybe you get some takeaways, and then you kind of build off of that. Maybe you get some big plays. Maybe you get a J.W. and Clowney sack, something like that. That I could see the positivity building there. The back end for me, they're gonna have to just play as many games as possible. I think every game that they play, the more that they'll get on the same page playing together. They need the reps of it, but I just don't see it like over all of a sudden a drastic difference 1 week to the next. I think it's just going to be a progression towards where it needs to be. And it might never be good the entire season. Like we had talked about earlier, Diggs wants to play man. Matt Eberflus wants to play zone because he thinks that's the best fit for what he has available of the players on the field. And so I do not just see a day where we all of a sudden turn on the Cowboys game and now they're playing 80% man. Like I don't see that, that flip happening. So you got to get better at what you're doing right now and what, it might be one of those things where it never really gets that great. And then they're making another defensive coordinator change in the offseason.
Yeah. Law? Let me see if I can get Law.
This everybody say, we are the get right game. Well, we need to do the inverse. This should be a get right game for us. I think that anything need to have confidence would be this defense. Maybe a couple of scooping scores, turnovers will help be sufficient for this team. So this is the type of situation I need for my team to defense. I know the offense is going to be there. I feel that Dak Prescott is in his zone. I know that Javonte Williams is going to run the rock and run the pill. But can this defense give us scoops and scores? Can this defense take the ball away? So those are the things I'm looking for in this particular game, and we need it. If we can't, like Sky was saying earlier, if we can't do it this week, basically, then who are the Cowboys? Figure out a way. Get that.
To your point about
together.
scoop and score, they have 7 turnovers. The Jets offense, 6 of them are fumbles. So you could have potential opportunities for a scoop and score.
Yeah, and great point, Law. And then, I was looking at some of their stuff. They'll get Breece Hall going, and it's like right to Brandon Allen, like there's no rhyme or reason. And then Brandon Allen's injured, so I just think that you talk about get right game when people to play us. I think this is a get right game for your defense, and I'm challenging those guys. Like play better, play with heart, jump up football. If you want to make a few lineup changes,
rush lanes.
Yeah. Definitely stay in rush lanes, yeah. But I mean, and even if I hate to say it, but this would be the game where you could play kind of that bend but don't break, because you do know that. I mean, they don't, outside of Garrett Wilson. I mean, who Alan Lazard? That's more like of a
dog. It's literally Garrett Wilson or bust at receiver. Garrett Wilson has 38 targets. You know how much the next wide receiver has? Just take a guess.
15.
No.
10.
No.
7.
8 targets for 4 receptions. The second highest reception leader on the Jets is 4 receptions. Now Mason Taylor's a guy you're going to have to watch for, not another receiver. He's very athletic, and he can take advantage of this second level. But it is Garrett Wilson or bust from a receiver standpoint. So if you let somebody not named Malik Neighbors have a Wan'Dale Robinson game, if you let that happen in this, I swear I'm done talking about the defense. Don't bring up the defense a single time on this show to me, or I'm just letting y'all talk. Because what else you want me to say? So quit asking.
Hey, let's get to these supers and we'll let you guys go. You guys enjoy some Thursday night football.
I love that damn drop.
Hey, shout out to you, Chris Broussard. So quit asking. Hey, did you guys see Ben Johnson's post?
It gave a grill.
And he was looking at, you think? What did he say, Scott? You think we should play better? What do you think? But I'm telling you, it's hard to keep your composure when you're coaching and somebody's asked you 1,000 questions. Like, yo, I don't know how they do it, bro. And because he's probably like, man,
I think it's the worst thing ever.
No, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. So, like, what happens is you get that job, and then they give you this piece of paper, and it has just a shitload of zeros on there, and you're like, oh, I'm going to get paid to do that? Yeah, she can come talk to me at halftime. She can come in the locker room. We can ask whatever questions. Yeah, I'll deal with it. It comes with the dinner. You're just fine. They're paid very well to have to do that. And let's be honest, nobody is really digging it on those halftime. Like when you're watching those games, how many times those halftime or whatever interviews where you're just like, okay, that's interesting. Did not know that. Right? It's very like you kind of know A plus B equals C. This is what they're gonna say, whatever, But I don't know. It's I've heard some behind the scenes and some of that stuff, and I'm just kind of like, it's not that serious. Calm down. You're paid a lot of money. You're paid a lot of money to do this, and if you don't want to do it, there's a long line of people that will do it for you, and they will. And what's just funny about that? Like, Cowboys are the perfect example. Is it new to anybody that be the head coach of the Cowboys means you have to deal with Jerry Jones? That's tough. There's never going to be a shortage of people that want to coach the Dallas Cowboys.
No, that's true. That's a good point, John. Jalen Hurts really made us think our defense was good. Chris Broussard, you are right. Thank you for watching the show, Chris. We appreciate you. Who has the better run game Sunday? We will. Well, Dallas will. Yeah, Dallas will.
Now they might have better numbers because of the quarterback running, but when I think of run game, I think about running backs. I don't think about quarterback.
Yeah. Hey man, what a great show. This was good, man. I think coming off of that tie, we just need to get a win. Get in the win column. Go out there, play good football. You guys got any closing arguments before we go?
Just off that last thing, I was just going to say that it's funny now looking back on it how I'm not going to say all of us, but I know myself personally question the idea of we're just going to put Javonte Williams on ice. He doesn't have to play in the preseason. I'm just like, you guys sure about that?
Sure you don't want respect to that, John.
Absolutely.
And it's like, okay, they got that one right for sure.
Hey, listen. Listening to you talk about Clayton Adams, John, and we'll close on this. When he said today, and this is the thing about football that I love, and all you guys, Sky, you play football. It's a difference in shorts and in pads. Remember, he said he was like, we saw him moving right. That's what he said. He said, "Oh, we saw Clayton moving around. I mean, we saw Javonte moving around, but Clayton said, oh, but when we saw him in pads, we knew." It was kind of like, oh, yeah, we knew what type. And, bro, his yak is through the roof. Like, he's that tone setter. Now, I think we've all said it. Let's save him from himself because, they also hit on a 2-year part, John. That was key. Clayton dropped that night. He was like, we felt that 2 years removed from that knee, we knew the player that we were getting. He's going to be 1,000-yard runner if he stays healthy. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to be 1,000-yard runner. And
it's a great situation for him, though, too. I mean, I don't know how many other teams are really basically giving him an opportunity to get their number one job. And then he comes to a team that, they've obviously invested in the offensive line, still a work in progress, but you have a seasoned veteran quarterback in Dak Prescott. You have receiving weapons around you. They just paid the tight end. Like, it's a pretty good situation to be the guy,
Yeah. And he honestly, John, if there's a person who I just feel like there's not one person on the team who doesn't like that guy from just listening to him. I feel like, and John, you could vouch for this or not. I just feel like everybody likes Javonte Williams on the team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Javonte heard us talking about putting him on ice. He said,
or here's another idea that's going to be very controversial. You could shut the up.
Hey, real quick,
I got this.
On that point, there's not many guys on the team that I would even think of that the other guys don't like. I mean, they got a pretty good locker room.
Oh, that's dope.
And if anybody was really ruffling feathers, maybe with other teammates, but maybe they got rid of that player.
Oh, hey, let me ask you this, because he's
not saying that that's the case. I'm just saying this locker room is pretty. I can't think of anybody that like really doesn't care for anybody else. No,
they all with each other.
I mean, I don't know that you go to a nice restaurant in downtown Dallas anytime soon and that you're going to see Matt Eberflus getting dinner with Trayvon Diggs. But when you talk about the team, I don't know. I'm not saying they don't like each other. They just have a difference on how they should play defense, But
no, for sure.
Yeah. Diggs went to Coach Flus, said, "Hey, Flus, what you think about man?" He said,
or here's another idea that's going to be very controversial. You could shut the up.
Hey, speaking of Dave Chappelle, real quick.
You on the bench for coming in here talking that nonsense.
Hey, what's y'all favorite Dave Chappelle movie or scene? Because I got one, and this might hurt John. This might hurt John.
I can't say some
there's
of
nothing.
them.
There's nothing.
Okay.
I love. There's nobody is funnier. There's nobody funnier that's ever walked this earth than Dave Chappelle.
Okay, cool.
Okay, can I say mine?
Yeah.
Can I start? Please. All right, here we go. Do y'all remember on Chappelle's show, Sky? Greatest show ever, by the way.
No doubt.
Like it's up there,
The
bro.
greatest sketch comedy. Forget SNL. Chappelle show. What?
Do you remember when he had Questlove playing the drums? He was like, how different ethnic
100%.
react.
Yeah.
Remember that, John? How
absolutely.
different ethnic groups react
100%,
to different instruments. So he played Questlove in the barbershop. Everybody like he playing everybody black people like, yeah, never came over and start freestyling. You know what I'm about to say, John? When he had John Mayer play the guitar. Chappelle is a nut. He was like, now watch how they react to the guitar.
That was great. Yeah.
There's so many good
other one thinking of that, his especially in the profession I'm in right now, we make jokes about this. His white reporter guy.
Yes.
We're like, he'll be like, wait a goddamn minute now, Rondell. Like that shit is so good. Like we talk about that all the time. Because there might or might not be some reporters that we think remind us of him. So that's why, oh my God, like that.
I mean, the Prince is come on, it's classic. Game blouses, 5-figure set. Like the whole thing is just classic. But Clayton Bigsby.
I knew somebody was gonna say that.
I randomly a couple times a year would just shout out, Condoleezza Rice sounds like a Mexican dish. Send her ass back to Mexico.
No, that's crazy.
I'll tell you another one that's pretty high up there on my list is the Real World sketch. Like when they work at the juice bar and everything. That thing's real good.
Bro, you got one?
Now they have a house meeting.
Yeah, the house meeting is crazy.
I love this.
I don't know. Good.
I got one note about what Sky said about Prince. Did you know Prince was actually good in basketball?
Yeah, I saw a picture of that, by the way.
Bro, like actually like really talented athlete.
Is what Charlie say in real life.
Yeah, bro. Like the fact that he did the research, found that out about Prince, that's like crazy, bro. So anyway, what a great show. I don't know.
When he was Diddy and he told the band to walk the bridge and get him a midget.
Oh yeah, that was a good one too. I forgot about that one. Yeah. It was the breast milk. The Cambodian breast milk.
The Cambodian breast milk. Yeah.
No, that was a good one too.
Yeah.
The wrap it up.
Wrap it up, B. Shout out to him.
Even his I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people didn't like it, but his last, I don't want to get in trouble, but his last stand-up, the one that Netflix, the first one that they gave him the $40 million for.
Yeah.
Dave is a pioneer in the fact that Comedy Central tried to take that show from him. He was like, nope, I'm out. They wanted to change the writers and change. Yeah, it's a whole thing
on the whole him going to Africa situation. You know, we all thought one way, but I guess it was another thing. But yeah, there's some deep stuff there.
I saw him 2 years ago when he came here to Dallas, and he played at American Airlines Center where the Mavs play. And it was one of those shows where they give you like that bag that you got to put your phone in, and it locks so you can't, you're not on your phone during the show or whatever. And I will always remember that, like, he just has a stool in the middle, and this is a basketball 20,000 person arena. He's got a stool, and he just comes out smoking a cigarette, and he just smoked cigarettes throughout the entire set, man. And he owned that entire place. Just a guy just sitting on a stool smoking cigarettes like that. Like it was amazing. I mean, it was one of those
DC guy, John.
That's right.
DMV. Yeah. He's from DC Southeast. And Dave is very outspoken about, like you said, they try to take his ideas. Because he wrote all of those. Like he was smart. And if you think about it, think about the actors that came from Dave from that show.
Yeah.
Go back and watch. And even remember John Legend and Kanye had like one of their
Kanye, that might have been the first time Kanye was really on something big.
Legendary stuff. So thank you, Sky. You got us over our hour mark. I appreciate you. Cowboys Collective, the best podcast in the world. You guys enjoy some Thursday night football. Thank you guys for hanging in here. We had great numbers tonight. Law Nation, Skywalker Steele, John Machota. My name is Footsdaking. We love you. We will see you guys after a Cowboys win. The best podcast in the world. Have a great night, ladies and gentlemen.
Dead law.
That's law.